We are pleased to welcome you, the listeners, to episode 2 of Gigi's Past Meets Present, conversations where we pair up current Gigi student athletes with Gigi's alumni to discuss experiences, aspirations, and the significance of Black History Month. Today we are fortunate to be joined by Gigi's alumnus and Gigi's 2014 and 2015 football captain, Rashid Timbilla. Rashid went on to graduate with 2 degrees from the University of Ottawa, including a joint honors in public administration and political sciences, and more recently receiving his Juris Doctor in common law this past year. In August of 2020, Rashid was appointed and coveted a prestigious position within the Federal Court of Canada as a judicial law clerk. He is joined today by current Gigi student athletes and members of the Gigi's women's rugby team, Ketsia Kamba and Kennedy Banton-Lindsay. We will now throw it to Ketsia to take it away.
I'm Ketsia. I'm in my second year in communication and sociology, and I'm in the women's rugby team, which I've been playing. Started playing rugby in grade 9, and then kind of got more into touch with it summer grade 10, going into grade 11, and then kept going and then started playing provincials, and then where I got recruited by my current coach, Jennifer Boyd, and then I'm here at the University of Ottawa. I think for me, rugby, when I started playing, it was really like just something that I started for fun. And as I kept playing, as I kept progressing over the times, I felt kind of that it was part of my life now. And I also grew up playing basketball and rugby. So like going into university, I had to start picking like, okay, kind of what sports I wanted to play, what areas that I wanted to also play, where I wanted to be like going on. Because I grew up in Hamilton, and then I also lived in Burlington as well. So that was something that I knew I wanted to kind of also go into another city, which I picked University of Ottawa because I knew it was very diverse. And as I continued on, I fell in love with the sport. And then also coming here, it's really put me out of my comfort zone. And I've been doing a lot of stuff that I usually don't do and stuff that I wouldn't even think that I've been doing, especially with like the new, our working group that we've been working on, me and Kennedy and other sports team athletes, which is really, really good. So at first it's because it's like 5 hours away. So it was pretty far, but once I kind of settled in, once I kind of find the group, I feel like I really like love the city, and I love like how nice people are, as much as like coming from like GTA is like a lot of busyness. So it was really good when I moved here, and like I feel like I'm gonna keep staying here because also my cousin also went here, so he's like once you're here, you kind of stay here, and he's been here for like over 10 years now. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is the city, but yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad at least you're here, and how's everything for your program though?
Our program right now, everything has been frozen, but we have been practicing in like parking lots and in open spaces as much as we can, but in small groups since the restrictions only 5 people. So that's what we've been doing. We do a lot of community outreach on our team. We do a lot of diversity work as well. And like there's a lot of other stuff we do than just play rugby right now. So that's a good thing. And our team's really, really united, and like we're able to like work through everything regardless of everyone being away, because we have a lot of girls from the East Coast and the West Coast, but ultimately we always come together regardless of what it is. So right now I feel like even though we don't see each other as much, we're pretty tight knit, but hopefully we're supposed to be opening up next week. We're supposed to be going into, I think, the orange zone, and hopefully we get to practice in the dome. HBC is opening up. So yeah, that's us right now.
Okay, I'm at school.
Oh, school, education. Online it was challenging at first, but I think adapting to it right now, second semester, I'm doing really, really better. It's just kind of working with like professors. Some of them are asynchronous. Some of them just kind of give you like the lessons, and then some kind of don't really like elaborate in some of the assignments and stuff like that. But right now, because I'm in social science, so most of the time I'm just typing papers. But yeah.
Happy with that.
Yeah. Kennedy, you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm Kennedy. I'm a first-year student, and I'm in the program criminology, and I also am in the French immersion stream. I started playing rugby like Ketsia in grade 9. But before then, I was a track athlete, and I didn't quit track until about grade 11. But then I started making rugby more of a commitment in grade 10. And then fast forward, in my grade 11 year and going into grade 12, I was able to be part of the Rugby Canada Developmental Academy, which really helped develop my skills so that I would be able to be recruited to the University of Ottawa. But like Ketsia, I was also playing different sports. So I was doing track, and then for all 4 years of high school, I was also playing field hockey, which was great because it helped with my conditioning a lot, and it was also just a nice, fun sport that I enjoyed. But then coming into university, I realized that I probably wasn't going to have a season. So I needed to find something else to kind of distract me and like fulfill kind of that like drive to do more that's like always been inside me. So I was really lucky because Ketsia was kind of the beginning of our Women's Rugby Task Force of Anti-Racism and Inclusion, which we've been able to do workshops with our team. And I feel like that's brought our team so much closer together. And then from that and transitioning with that and wanting to build a close relationship with varsity athletes because we're really distanced right now, I started the Black Student Athlete Advocacy Council with a bunch of other varsity athletes who are going to also be featured in like Black History Month throughout the month, which is really exciting. And it's something that I take great pride in. And even though I wasn't able to have a season this year, I'm glad that I was able to make the most out of my first year experience and find something else to kind of start my university career. So that's just a little bit about me and what I've been up to so far.
Well, congratulations. You've accomplished a lot already.
Oh, thank you.
And what program?
Pardon?
What program are you in, Kennedy?
I'm in criminology.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's great with everything I've been able to accomplish because I honestly wouldn't have been able to do it without my team, and especially without Ketsia. We do everything together.
We're good here.
Yeah. So no, like everything that I do is pretty much because of the program, and I think that's a testament to not only our athletic success, but also like our success as being a united team and a family more than anything. So just that experience for me and being able to do all the things I've been able to accomplish, it lets me know that I made the right decision on where I want to spend the next 5 years of my life, possibly more.
Yeah. Seeing that we said our experience, what was your experience as a student athlete when you were playing football?
For me, it was kind of like you guys. The truth of the matter is, I transferred to U Ottawa, and I really enjoyed it. Only because one of my best friends, Tantra Kaya, he was here beforehand, and he said, "Come out." And seeing from there, downtown campus. I lived in Ottawa, so I know how bad it is in the wintertime. But over the course of the 4 years and 5 years, you'll see you guys will mature much better communicators. Your most intelligence will rise significantly. But also, hopefully, if you're really good, and you have a really good coach, you'll learn to accept criticism and not talk back or try to just be a good, humble person who can really help out the team. And you're not looking to help out yourself, you're looking to help out the team. My time, I mean, I loved Uwato only because I had a really good coach named Coach Barisi, and then a guy named Coach Mike Ireland. And some of the best people you'll find in life are the most honest people. And they said, the reason you're not starting is because you're just bad at this and this and this. If you want to start, you're going to have to get better at this and this and that. And it was some of the best advice ever, and they were just straightforward. And besides that, I really liked the classes. I was in political science and public administration. And during those times, the one thing that's very nice that sadly I don't think you guys are dealing with right now is I had really captivating professors. just loved what they were talking about, and that makes it much better of a university experience. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, only because for me, I was in person, and obviously that isn't true for you guys. But I really do love the sports administration, in the sense that your teammates, your alumni, a lot of these networks are there to see you succeed, and it really is nice to know that.
Yeah. Like coaching, making sure that we hold each other accountable, and that's something that we strive to do every single day. And it's also working on making sure we're all honest with each other as well. Like that's something I can say that is truly good within the U Ottawa GGs. But
yeah, especially being a rookie, the level of competition is nowhere near high school. So you definitely need to have people who can be honest with you and tell you what your work ons are. And it's also important to recognize that if they didn't think that you were able to do it, they wouldn't tell you. So they see possibilities for you that you may not see in yourself just yet. So I think that's super important, especially for people who are coming into varsity programs.
No, yeah, and I'm happy that you guys have formed a team. You'll see that I played 2012 to 2015, so 4 seasons. But some of the people who were really close to me in my first year are still close to me now. And it's important to keep in touch with people you respect, you value, and just generally good people, because those connections mean something.
yeah, 100%.
So besides being able to take criticism, what piece of advice would you give people who are going into whatever varsity program, like they're making the transition to post-secondary U sport competition?
Besides, the criticism aspect, it's also kind of believing what the leader states. I had the bad fortune of kind of having one coach after the next, only to have, a very good, strong coach who was Coach Jamie Barisi. And at that point, I was a little bit older, but your head coach will tell you something that you might question. You might think, what are they doing? But sometimes you have to believe in that individual if they are qualified, and after that, really believe in the process and trust in the process. And then, at some of the hardest times when you're either alone or you hit setbacks, really trust in yourself and keep going forward, and have a really dogged mindset of accomplishing your goals. The good thing about sports, especially times during training camps and that transition to school, is that you don't have a lot of time, which means you can't procrastinate. And during those times of not procrastinating, make sure your sights are set up really high, because if they're set really high and you're ambitious, you probably can achieve those goals.
Yeah. That's very, yeah. Seeing that you spent like a lot of time within the program, what were like your proudest moments as a GG? I know there's probably a lot of moments, but like if you could like kind of do like a top 3 best times, something like that.
Something like that, for real. It'd probably be first, we won the Panda game.
Yeah.
Second would probably be just being a 4-year, 5-year athlete. You'll see during the time you start and during the time you finish, there'll probably be a lot of people who just quit the team, and there's nothing wrong with that. If it's not for you, it's better if you find something else that is for you. But I was glad I stuck out and stuck around for 4.5 years and did that, and then transitioned to law school. But even in law school, I was helping coaching a football team at the same time, because it's a true testament. And then maybe last, either being named captain or going to the East-West Bowl. But those are kind of personal things. I care a lot about kind of what we did together. So, the Panda game, that win was nice. And then after that, likely my favorite part was just, I don't know, the camaraderie, getting it through done. 4 training camps, 4 seasons, like 4 years of really cold games. You remember that, but you feel much better after.
No, that's very true. I've seen a couple Panda games. Well, last year was the first time I saw a Panda game. That's an environment that Ooh, it's a really good environment. I can't even imagine how you are as a player, how that felt, even winning it. Just as a spectator, I loved it. That's what I could say, but that's very true.
No, I'm glad. Do
Yeah.
you guys? Let me ask you. Do you guys? Probably not now because it's COVID, but do you guys talk to other sports teams?
Well, for me, my first year, you usually kind of, if you're in the cafeteria, you do socialize with them, but it wasn't as much. It was usually the ones within their season. So I was usually close with the soccer girls and a couple of football guys within like my year. But yeah, not as much as this year, I could say, like due to like the pandemic, everything happened. I felt like I would have had a better connection with most teams. But I know within like within the working group, I've met with most of the people. I usually don't even, they're usually older than me too. So this first time I've just been talking to them. But yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for me, I didn't really get the traditional rookie experience to kind of go to people's games and make friends that way. I kind of made friends through social justice, which is always fun, but it definitely was a unique experience. And I don't think I would build as close relationships if I didn't have the experience of learning about them outside of sport first. And it's been great because even though we were harping on Callie, she has been so great. And I don't think I would really get to know her if it was just a regular season, just because she's the volleyball coach. I don't think I would really get to know her that well. But now we talk all the time. So it's a blessing. And like there's obviously downsides to the pandemic, but the relationships that I built are something I value a lot.
Yeah, that's why I can agree on that as well. Like even you don't really socialize with, especially with like the male athletes within the season. But like now that I'm seeing like we're all together and connected, even them joining us, working with us, it's something that it's like they usually say it's usually they don't usually see that. So I know that the connection that we've been building is really, really well.
Oh, I'm happy for
So
you guys. Oh, sorry, go on.
yeah. No, I was just gonna say, now that you listed your greatest accomplishments during your time as a student athlete, what would you say are your greatest accomplishments outside of your football program? So once you left.
That's a good question. I'm a big team guy, but I don't know. Maybe getting into law school. Like I know usually for you, Ottawa, the statistics are I think 1 in 8, 1 in 9 get in. So that was nice. Getting my clerkship, that was a point of pride because I worked very hard for that. I passed the bar of Ontario, so that was again another fun aspect. But also, I don't know, just there are a lot of friends. The reason I went to law school is to help out people. And I would like to say that the good thing about football was it taught you just it's all team, team, team. My personal accomplishments, given my parents like good gifts, I've helped them out with that stuff. You know what I mean? I was able to go to Ghana with me and my dad. I'm Ghanaian first, so I love it. And I always say that at least for you guys, similar to me, we're in our 20s, so you really won't accomplish things now. I mean, you'll be steadily when you really accomplish something that's monumental that you can really be proud of. Now it's just I don't know, learning skills really.
Yeah. And how would you describe your law school experience?
Expensive. Um, Truthfully, law school is very interesting because you'll deal with an amalgamation of people. Some of them are extremely nice, and some of them kind of look out for themselves or don't share notes. But I found it extremely rewarding only because the way you think, the way you communicate is much differently. Law school, especially you want to use point first writing, which most law schools use, which is just get the point out and then you'll have some justifications. And the other thing is, you see the law's impact on a lot of different areas. At work, I deal with indigenous law, immigration, refugee law, of course, administrative law, competition law. But in law school, I learned from everything from access to justice to international environmental law to civil procedure and then, of course, trial advocacy. I originally wanted to be a crown attorney, so I really cared about criminal law and advanced criminal procedure. And it was those aspects, especially, Kennedy, you talked about, liking social justice. And it was those aspects that really make you a much stronger advocate and much better persuasion. And persuasion is extremely important in life because inherently, people have different kind of decisions that they're going to make, and you want them to err on the side that's more equitable, more better, more fair. So law schools helped me a lot in that regard.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Just because that's my goal after I finish my rugby career to go to law school, hopefully here, so that I can stay connected with the program. So your experience like means a lot for me to hear about it.
Yeah, well, message me when you do, and I'll take a look at your cover letter.
Thank you.
Obviously.
And seeing that this month is the month of February and we're celebrating Black History Month, during any time, I know I was starting from when it was in May when the whole George Floyd happened and like what was happening in the States, and then it happened and then it moved to Canada. What are the importance for Black History Month for you with this during these times?
It's extremely important. Being black's a power, I see. It's one of the best things. Of course, there's discrimination always attached. Even in Ottawa, there are times I've been walking to work and called the N-word. Um, it makes you kind of frustrated. It makes you extremely sad. But I was just talking to a few colleagues from the football team and actually some very good friends. We talked about, that's what separates us apart and actually makes us stand out in the room in a very good way. It's our strength. Collectively, I think we're much stronger than we are apart. We just have to make sure that we are together. We'll always have some, disagreements on strategy and, policy and what we can do to help out our community. But, you never turn your back on your community. You always try to help out. So it's extremely important to me and a lot of other people. And there are enough, black lawyers that are really trying to help. There are enough black professionals that are really trying to help. And there are a lot of great ones. Black History Month is extremely important to me because, again, you know, Black history is important. You don't really see or know of everything. People idolize and lionize Viola Desmond, and they speak about, Barack Obama and, different people like Lincoln Alexander, but there are a string of individuals who have really been instrumental in helping out further generations of Black Canadians. And it's kind of our responsibility to continue to further and further push it down the line.
Yeah, I could I could agree on that. Like as well as because I'm a Congolese girl and like I hold my pride, my skin really strongly. And my mom always told me like you need to make sure that you are Black first before anything else. So making sure that you are being heard because within like the circumstance that we are in this country, like Black people are usually diminished. So that's something I was always told to make sure you're standing strong within who you are. And even though like it is a problem within Canadians, also remembering where you come from and like your motherland and making sure that you are giving back in those areas because we do come from the rooted there and we're trying to build something within our generations, not to just help where we live, but also where we come from. So I think it's really, really important that we see that now it's kind of more of a global thing and people are realizing that not just Black people are not just loud and all of this negative connotation within that comes with Black people, but it's something that's beautiful, something that's strong, that's something that's bold. And it's like it takes time to continue building that, but that's something that I'm really, really, really proud to celebrate this month.
Yeah, and I would say to both of you, just kind of do it all. Don't hesitate. When me and my best friends named Patrick Tuagiero and a few others, Kadim Bay and others, and the truth of the matter is a lot of them try to go for it all. Tristan Bailey is another person who's an Ottawa police officer, and they really try to go for it all. In the sense that we've been very fortunate in life. We've been the benefactor of a lot of goodwill. And the truth of the matter is, it's time to try to, be exceptional in a lot of different ways. Of course, that requires kind of leaving your comfort zone, but, the world is yours for the taking. So, that's always mine, kind of inner thoughts. And, I hope both of you do it. And I know, Kennedy, you'll apply to law school. And I'll do everything I can to, help you out for that. But, the truth of the matter is, I just hope you guys, take chances, take risks, and also really dedicate yourself to your program. I've seen, a lot of my teammates that kind of thought football first, football first, football first. And then at the end of their program, they were kind of assessing, strategize a little bit. Think about in your second year, where do I think I like and what do I kind of think I want to do? Take kind of internships in different aspects and different jobs. Really immerse yourself and think what you can do. And, information is power. So ask a lot of questions.
That I could definitely agree with that, especially in my second year. That's something, as much as my mom put it on me, make sure I know what I'm doing. But I think making sure is, yes, we are athletes, but we also need to think outside the box. In the city of Ottawa, we're really fortunate in networking, and like there's a lot of people that know a lot of people. So it's a world of information that you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and as soon as it starts, as soon as school starts, maybe join an interesting club or do something along those lines. I mean, there's a lot of individuals who kind of think similar to you, so talk to them, see kind of what aspects you can do, see what you can promote, and see what you can actually advocate for your cause.
Yeah, that's great advice, Rashid. I'm so glad that we were able to sit down and have this conversation, and take the time to celebrate alumni at our university. And I know you like to mainly talk about your team accomplishments, but you've accomplished a lot as an individual, and that deserves to be celebrated. And I'm so glad that I was able to be a part of that and take time to celebrate you and your legacy that you have.
I appreciate you. I just think you guys you guys should do it all, and I think you guys should accomplish more than what you expect to accomplish. And just continue to do it all. Me and a lot of other people are rooting for you. So if you need anything, we're here. I can't wait till you apply to law school.
Yeah.
Thank you. You will be the first to know.
I was like, can't wait to maybe see you one time at our games, cheer us on. If I ever need a lawyer, I'm calling you.
You never will need a lawyer. Trust me. You never will need a lawyer. You're not going to get in. But, what are your plans after school?
Me? I think I definitely want to do more school, definitely in terms of like sociology, kind of diving into more the aspects. I don't know what specifically, but definitely doing more schooling. But yeah, that's my thought right now. Because right now I'm like kind of working into like we have this council like Kennedy mentioned, the BSAAC, and that's something like it's within my program. Like one of the prof we've been working with is part of the education professor. So I feel like there's something I could do within that line. But certainly like I'm figuring that out. But yeah.
Yeah, you'll always figure it out. Just make sure to look at kind of the job prospects after. You know what I mean? A lot of my friends who did comms, they kind of thought, okay, where can I work? What can I do? Kennedy, what kind of law were you thinking of practicing?
I was thinking of criminal law. I'm not sure if I want to be a crown attorney or if I want to be a defense lawyer. I think that's for later in life. But yeah, criminal law is very interesting to me, and also corporate law.
Yeah.
So kind of more of like the business sector.
Well, we can talk about that after because I've focused on a lot. And I've researched a lot in both of them and had job reviews, and then had a lot of individuals who I know who practice in both fields, and they're both fun. They're both long. Criminal law is just litigation for the most part, so you gotta remember it's a lot of trial work. But hopefully we can talk about it after. And then,
yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Again, thank you for your time and thank you for taking the time for coming to speak to us and highlighting this important time of the year.